Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and today I will explain about introductions in this slide. First, human resource management is a process to manage the talent of people in an organization in order to achieve the organization's objectives. It is also a process of recruiting people, train them, compensate them, develop policies that relate to them, and develop a strategy in order to retain them. And in order the business to gain a competitive advantage, human resource management use strategic approach towards the effective management of people in a company or in an organization. Health and safety in an organization is a system which is the part of organization management system, and it includes healthy and safety work policy and organization in a company. There are a few processes of planning to prevent from accident. Next is problem identification. Problem identification is the most important in this slide, as the problem that will arise can affect the workers in the organization. One of the most difficult problems that have to be identified for safety measure is hazards at work, because hazard does not have any immediate reaction such as noise or poisons. Hazard can be identified when a special operation is operated. To know if the work hazard is present or not, there are several symptoms that can be aware of, such as itching skin, headaches, runny eyes, and throat irritation. There are ways to identify health and safety problems in the organization, such as observing the workplace surroundings to make sure that there are no any harmful substances that can hurt the workers. Register any complaints that came from the workers so that the problem that bothered them during work hour can be solved, and if there are any safety or health problems within them, the action can be taken as soon as possible. Problems also can be identified by handling a survey to the workers so that the problems that occur surrounding them or bother them will take in account. And last but not least, do some inspection in organization where they need to check every machine in the organization so that there are no risk occurs from the machine that they use.
Hi, in my part we're going to talk about literature review. The first article that we use is Human Safety in Cotton Industry by Neil Frager, Philip Brown, James Sulahan, and Richard Franklin. Second, maintaining health and safety at workplace, employee and employee's role in ensuring a safe working environment by Grace Katungi Jonathan. Third, Health and Safety Guide for Human Resource Professional by Kennedy Center for Occupational Health and Safety. And lastly, Model 34 Employee Health and Safety by M.A. Shardi, Government of India. Inside this article review, we will cover one of the topic of HRM function, which is safety and health. For article 1, we're going to talk about cotton farm industry in Queensland, Australia. Inside this article, we're going to talk about factor and type of accident. Which accident has the highest rate and the lowest rate. Next, the legal issue and the solution. The legal issue here is about maintaining workers' health and safety. And the solution here is to define the key hazard and the risk for the worker by the employee. And the third part is the best practice and training opportunities. The best practice here is the farm staff build specific management to assist employee, and the training opportunities is the farm safety training center put an instructor have that has been qualified and certified to provide the course. For article 2, we're going to talk about study on safety and health for teachers at Amboni West District. Inside this article, we're going to talk about role of employee in ensuring their own safety. Second, role of administration in health and safety legislation. And third is role of management in maintenance of safety equipment.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Kinajmi bin Muhammad Naim. I'm from Group Last, and I will explain about the article 3 that have been researched by me. The article review that I have reviewed is Health and Safety Guide for Human Resource Professional. This article review about guideline of health and safety human resource professional. Health and safety play an important role for human resource function. It is because in common organization, health and safety are responsibility in human resource department. If the employee want to meet the requirement of human resource management, they need to understand the health and safety responsibility of the employee, manager and supervisor employee. Employee also need to implement personnel management policy to make sure every role of work in workstation being alert to what responsible will happen. This article also explain about guideline that give many advantage of health and safety environmental responsibility to human resource management in the workplace. There are three prime advantage that I have find in article. The first advantage that I find in the issue of article is employee will have more awareness to the productivity that will make in the organization. This guideline will encourage employee to be more productive in their work, so there will be much more benefit to organization. Second advantage is that I have find in the issue of the article is when employee get a guideline of health and safety, it will reduce accident and injury for the employee. This guideline will train employee to make sure worker not do an incident that will get them injured. Meanwhile, training is not guarantee to erase all 100% injury, but it will prevent employee to injure and will employee will be safe in work. The last advantage in the article is guideline will make a team in an organization more productive. A training will of guideline will make the organization achieve the goal, so it will be efficient in the company or organization. The next part of the article that I have researched is guideline for forming a health and safety committee. The health and safety law specify that a committee on health and safety need to contain at least one half employees who has been selected or represent in the union of employee or organization. Employee needs to make a frequency meeting, such a meeting of the management of committee member at least one in every 3 months. In that meeting, need to include two chairperson, such a chairperson and employee chairperson. For the conclusion of the article is health and safety is important to human resource function. Human resource management will affecting the organization performance of organization. If health and safety be more emphasis in HR department. Thank you. That's it.
And now I will explain about the topic employee health and safety. First, I will explain about the introduction. Professor Dr. Rajiv Jain wrote an article about employee health and safety, which is explain about the importance of health towards the organization and also the safety and precaution that need to be taken in the organization. Health means we are in a state of being free from illness or injury, whether it is in physical form or mental form. Safety means in a condition of being protected from danger. So the roughly meaning of health and safety program are a plan of action to prevent accidents and occupational disease. The objective of health program is held to prevent any disease and injury rather than curing the disease. Program of health and conservation of occupational disease will be involved. The main focus of this objective is to maintain the workers' health and working capacity, to improve the working environment, and to reflect the essential value of systems. The comprehensive industrial health program should include a professional staff of physicians and nurses, adequate facilities for emergency care and injuries, or proper first aid treatment and a reasonable first aid treatment of employees for non-occupational ailments. The importance of industrial health is to reduce the hazards which is exposes to the employee who work in the industry and improve their health. The reason why the industrial health is introduced to both employers and workers is because the symptoms of bad health is at a high rate, which cause an absenteeism and turnover, industrial discontent and indiscipline, poor performance, and low productivity. Now I will explain about industrial accidents. Health and safety programs is important in a company as it is one of the desires that the employees needed when working in a company, so that they will ensure the safest place for them to work at and also prevent them from any harm. One of the accidents to prevent is industrial accidents. Industrial accidents is an accident where it happens suddenly and in an unexpected way, where it causes great damage such as explosion or fire or even caused by a natural disaster. For example, at a pyrotechnics manufacturing facility, the situation can cause injuries to the people as it does damage towards the property and the environment, and this is what health and safety programs want to prevent from. Industrial accidents are known in two forms, which is direct losses and indirect losses. Direct losses are the losses that affect toward the employer, which they have to pay their employees for compensation, and also medical expenses towards the employees that affected during the accident. Meanwhile, indirect losses cause a different loss, which the losses cannot be seen with the naked eye, such as the injured person's loss of time, or even the loss of the company that they have to suffer because of the damage from the machines. This accident is caused by many factors that the company had never expected from, such as dangerous machine can cause by the boilers, pressure vessels, or prime movers transmission system. Unsafe physical condition of the employees also can be one of the factors that the accident can happen, and it also including improper guards, improper illumination, improper ventilation, and unsafe clothing. They also need to be careful of moving and falling objects as it can cause head injury to a person, which it needs to be prevented from. Personal factors such as lack of knowledge and physical weakness also can cause accident in the organization. Lastly, exposure to harmful substances such as toxic gases, fumes, dust, vapors, mist, and aerosols are also a factor that cause accidents toward the employees and employees that work in the organization. And now I will present about ways to overcome industrial accidents. As you can see, the industrial accidents can cause a lot of damage if precaution does not take place right away. There are some ways to prevent this, such as safety engineering, safety education training, and safety provision in an organization. Safety engineering is to eliminate the risk that occurs by the operation machines, by the process of the manufactured product, and by the structure and layout of plants and equipment. To eliminate this work hazard, they take in a proper engineering procedure, as work hazard is the most crucial problems in a safety program. Any machine that is operated will be generally covered or will be fenced carefully so that it can prevent the employees from getting hurt. There is some safety protective equipment that has to be provided to the employees, such as safety glass or plastic eye shields, in order to protect the eye from exposing to the hazard of fire, glare, dust, and fumes. Heart protective caps are also needed, as it can protect the head of every employee so that they can prevent from head injuries, which can result badly. To prevent employees from poisonous air, they also need gas masks and also gloves to prevent their hand from coming in contact with harmful substances such as acids and explosive materials. Last but not least is safety shoes and skin guards and safety to protect the overall body. Next is safety education and training, which is the most important part to achieve a successful safety program. This education has to be provided to all levels of management personnel and employees. The goal for this education to be taught is that they can be prepared for the worst and know what action that they need to do when the accidents happen around them. There are ways to encourage the employees in the organization to learn about safety, which is held a contest or a competition among them, and it will be a fun activity as well as gain knowledge about safety. This can make the employees become more motivated. Lastly are safety provisions in an organization, which consists of 9 safety provisions in an organization, and one of it is fencing of machinery, which is every moving part of the prime mover. Second is work on or near machinery have to be done by a trained person of who wear tight-fitted clothing. Thirdly is casing of machinery, which every little thing such as screw, bolt, key, or pinion have to be guarded safely to prevent danger. Fourth is safety provision is hoist and lifts, which is needed to be mechanically constructed and have enough strength. It also needs to be maintained and examined regularly to ensure it is safe as it is used to carry people. Next is excessive weight, which it needs to be prevented as carrying heavy objects can lead to injury. Lifting machines, chain ropes, and lifting tackles, which is crane, crab, and pulley block, need to be properly constructed and have enough strength to lift weights. Protection of eyes is also one of the safety provisions which goggles needs to be provided when doing welding, cutting, dressing of metals, and rivet cutting. Next is protection against dangerous fumes which any chamber, pit, tank, pipe, or any other confined space which is exposed by dangerous fumes must not be permitted by anyone in the factory. Lastly are precautions against fire, which any factory needs to provide an exit or escape path in case of fire, and the exit doors must be designated to not be locked or fastened so that the workers can open the door easily and immediately from the inside of the room.
Based on the literature review above, we have achieved that Occupational Safety and Health Act is important to human resource function. The reason is OSHA actually put a strict measurement for employers by giving them responsibility to their workers, such as providing a hazard-free workplace, training required by OSHA, medical exam when required by OSHA standard. For the first article, we have discussed about the type of injury, maintaining safety and health for the worker. There are also solutions that have been mentioned in the article review, such as defining the key hazard and risk resulting in injury and illness. Research into issues where information regarding risk or effectiveness of control optional, preparational and plotting on checklist tool. For the second article, we have discussed about role employees to ensure worker on safety. In order to maintain worker well-being in workplace, supervisor and worker must be taught to keep a health and safety mindset. Then, they are also state that employer must meet the legal requirement or employee must provide labor welfare activity. It also states that labor health and safety activity are necessary or for provide employee working condition, economy and living standard. For the third article, we have discussed about guideline for human resource professional in the term of health and safety. This article also review about advantage of health, safety and environmental responsibility to human resource management, such as it will increase employee awareness. For the last article, we have discussed about important industrial health to reduce the hazard which is exposed to employee who work at the industry and providing worker health. This is important in company as it is one of the desire that the employee needs when working in a company where they are ensure the place that they work is safe and prevent them from any harm. From this for article review, we have found that compensation and benefit in the lecture review uh, it that we find in article 3, that is health safety guide for human resource professional, that was prepared by Canadian Center for OSHA, is the best article to inform that health and safety is much more benefit in the human resource organization. For the example, writer said health and safety department is to make sure environment is an organization harmony. In the term of harmony, is there will be more productive in workplace if the worker have tolerance in their mind. Then, health and safety will lower the case of accident and injury while work, but time by time. For the conclusion, what we got is OSHA is an important legislative framework to ensure safety employee health and welfare among all Malaysian workforce and to protect others against risks to safety and health in connection with activity of person at work, so that no accident will happen in the work. Human resource professional also play an important role to ensure employee health and safety, as they know the workplace, the employee and their job demand, while human resource professionals are not expected to know the technical aspect of workplace health and safety. They should know when and how to use existing resource to respond to human concern. That's it from my group. Thank you.